Hi, my name is Bailey Hanson, and I am doing my project on homelessness. So in specific, I am talking about the benefits of the road home downtown in Salt Lake City closing. So back in 2019, the Salt Lake City road home downtown closed. It was devastating news for many who stayed at the shelter and for those who had stayed there before. It had helped and changed and affected the lives of many people. No one really knew what the new shelter was going to look like, what resources it would have, and how many people would be able to stay there. It was complicated, and as new shelters were being built, everyone was confused and worried. But as the new shelters were coming about, they brought us a lot of uncertainty, but there was also a lot of hope. Yes, the new shelters were providing more resources for the homeless, so that gave them more options to have more like psychiatrists or therapists or just lots of more resources to help them get them on their feet, get jobs, get working. The only problem was the road home shelter downtown had about 1,000 beds, and the new shelter there would be 3 of them. But one shelter only has 300 beds for males, and the other 2 hold 250 beds. One is for women only, and the other is a family shelter. This has caused a lot of problems, saying there's not enough space for everybody, and no everybody can stay there, and that's been a huge problem. But these new shelters have a lot more options of services and things to help them get jobs and be able to have their own homes and get to start their family right in their own new home. Many were mad that they were spending millions of dollars on these shelters just to be cutting down the beds. And yes, that's been a problem. But these shelters have not been completely full with COVID, yes, because a lot of people have lost their jobs and lost homes, and it's been a rough time. But before, they have not been completely full because they have lots of options available to help the homeless. A lot of information we read about this talks about all the bad things, but some of the good things of the road home closing was one problem that was down there was the lack of hygiene. A big group of people all together caused a lot of problems inside the area and outside. It was not the cleanest, so there was lots of illnesses and lots of sicknesses, and it was hard to try to keep it under control, and once it started, it was impossible to keep under control. Another problem was when they would start to do cleanups and check the areas and all around it, they found a lot of needles and other drug paraphernalia in the area. This caused problems for the neighborhoods around and other people staying there because they had to worry about all different things that maybe they didn't have to worry about before. And like once everything started, the hygiene problems, the drug problems, it was hard to keep it under control, and that is why it just had to close. And that's why these new shelters are so amazing and such great resources to help the homeless.